Hello everyone, I'm very happy to be here today. My name is Ira, welcome to my channel, and today finally after a couple of months I must say, I'm here to present the newest creation. I wouldn't say it's actually newest but the latest. This journal was finished completely on the 31st of January last year, like at night, at the age of the 2 years. I was finishing it about 23 or like 11 p.m. just before the midnight of the new year. But then something broke out in my life and I couldn't just make myself film it, or well, these reasons, let's leave them aside. So this journal, it's like album or book. I'm not sure what name yet to call it. My initial idea was to call it a Herbcrafter's journal, but then I was suggested another name. It's like Herbalist journal. Let's see what it looks like. This is a big, fat, mixed media project. Almost all the pages are done from scratch. Many backgrounds are made by me, and I used a few fancy paper pages from a collection of appropriate paper kit. But now let's dive into it without further ado. So that's the front page, and you can see some leaching here. It's covered with all types of media and stuff. Beneath there is a corrugated cardboard piece which is covered with different media again, alcohol inks, different types of, I hope my cat doesn't bother you, different types of media inks, alcohol inks, and some glossy accents, lots of stuff, and some beads, micro beads as well are used here. Here is the feather, some bark, okay, again some cardboard which I dyed. Okay, I'll use it as kind of a pointer, right? And yeah, this is some background that I covered with different types of media as well. Gesso, black gesso and things. And some lace, which I hand dyed with coffee and then with different types of sprays and inks. And then the layer below, you can see some more fabric and some more lace, all of it hand dyed with sprays. Here we can see a piece of linen, which is also hand dyed, and you can see some rose here. And this is the back side, yeah, with some tiny composition and a pocket. And you can see something in this pocket, some tiny pieces. Okay, let me do it this way. As always, I'm sorry, probably it gives some noise, but as always, as you start filming, things start going the wrong way. That's why I don't film too often. So that's the width. It's really wide. These are the tights, if you call them tights. I'm not sure. No, not the tights. Yeah. So okay, this is the front page. Again, mixed media. As you can see, there's some fancy paper below, and it's covered with some medium and then different inks and sprays. Here we can see a couple of pieces of some fabric and some lace, black lace, some fiber, micro beads, some acrylic decoration, and a tiny composition of chipboard. I didn't cut it out myself, it was pre-cut for me, like I bought it this way. And then I covered it with different types of media again, and here we have a picture and this charming lantern. Then the second page comes, and this picture can be taken out. It's kind of a photo page. The background is again pre-made by me with stencils and sprays and things. There's always the issue with this paper corners. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil the thing, and I will fit it after the review. So that's the Edith Holden page printout, and that's the envelope with tiny goodies inside. And again, it's covered with all types of things, grunged and made look older. So there are a few pages here sent to me in Happy Mail by Dita. So here are some other pages. I used oil pastels here, as you can see, just to specify different let's say parts of this journal, like moon cycles. That can be important for those who follow some kind of natural circle. Then sun. Pages are coffee dyed and then sprayed with different types of sprays, you can see, or splashed with some water, colored water, sometimes herbs to plant if it's planting season, and herbs to forage, especially immediately after planting. All these words are written again with pastel. And then we have one of my favorites. It's completely 100% made cotton cloth page. So it's covered with gesso, white gesso, and then with media, and then with sprays, and then with stencils. I mean, some black paint and stencils, as you can see, and it looks gorgeous to my mind. And that's the composition below. Again, another piece of chipboard covered with microbits. And here is the middle page. Looks gorgeous to me. There are some gilded pieces, like you see these ones that you see as kind of beige. In fact, they are golden a little bit. Okay, just acrylic paint of different shades and stencils and things. And that's the back page of that cotton cloth thing. This one is just a die cut that I made myself with my one of my cutting dies in the cutting machine, die cutting machine, and I covered it with all. It's just not coffee stain. No, it's just different types of sprays and paints and things. This one goes about Herbcrafter. This page again is from Dita. And you see, I used a lot of media and a lot of water, so it leaked and smudged, and I like it very much because it gives this old look of an old book, an ancient book that has been living with her owner for years in somewhere in a remote country cottage or forest cottage, something very to the point. Looks like kind of grungy. Again, 2 tags pre-made for your decorational notes. Envelope, and then plants. Summer, and comes the seasons. Another page with some acrylic and pastel. Some more pages for writing, because like this journal is supposed to be used and lived. Another page from Dita that I edit my pastel and other media too, and another edit holding illustration. That's another mixed media, zero beginning, if we can call it so. I mean, I made it from just a piece of cardstock. Okay, it's covered with black gesso, and then with different types, different colors, or different media. And here you can see a plant. It's a dried plant. It's sealed with the media within, so it's absolutely intact. Maybe you can see that it has some glitter on it, and there are some beads. Everything is like sparkling. That's nice. And an envelope, common envelope that's been a little bit modified to look proper. And some field notes, tiny booklet, and some, just some tiny pieces that might be used here. So this page is made on the base of some, scrapbooking paper. You can see the remnants of it with like this sketches of different plants, and then again layered it with something else, covered with lots of tons of stuff, and different layers. And this fern, by the way, comes from one of Dita's Happy Mails. I covered it with paints and sprays and got this effect, and that's lace, kind of. And again, my favorite trick for that is micro bits. This is one of my, again one more favorite page. First of all, that's just a bookmark. I wasn't planning to make it. It came itself unexpectedly. It wasn't meant to be this way. But actually, the base is my treasure. It's a page from an old photo album. It's gray. But I again covered it with everything I had to get this night effect. Well, in the camera it looks a little bit, brighter. In fact, it's more muted and a little bit darker. As you can see, there is some fabric, again spotted with some stuff. And that's this beauty, dragonfly. In fact, is dark gray with silvery wings. But again, it glitters, and that's why probably reflections from the light make it look brighter. But in fact, it's dark. But when it catches the light, yeah, it goes really beautiful. And what I especially like about this page is the splashes of gold, silver, and some of platinum metallic sprays that make it look really, really, really gorgeous. Maybe it's not modest to speak this way about the thing you do, but sometimes maybe I have to, as everyone. Another grungy pocket, envelope. Okay, let's put it this way. And it's again made on the scrapbooking paper, and that's that's the piece of that photo album I was talking about. More pages. Let's say autumn. Another. Here I used the lace from the cover that I covered with colored into, dyed into green. I used this page as kind of a pattern, well, background, and well, you see what it turned out to be. Another 100% made page, like handmade page. As you can see, now there is some texture, right? Because again, there were some different paste used. Gessos, yes, mixed media techniques. Okay. And you can see even some patina drops, because these green ones are patina drops I used. And this is a piece of bark. I don't know, it's like 4 years old, maybe even older. It's from the birch that doesn't grow originally here, but we picked it from the botanical garden at Veretum. And it's interesting that this bark was scattered all over the ground around the tree, because that was the way the tree got renovated itself. It like disposed of that. And again, microbeads. Not sure whether you see this black thing. Actually, it's microbeads. Okay, let's move on and let's see. There's some poem about nature. It's not in English. There's a page from Dita, and there's another Edith Holden book page. Some other pages from Dita, and one more mixed media beauty. Again, as you can see, the background is kind of it has some pattern, yeah, but like barn door or something. And I again had to cover it with media, not to make it too flimsy for lots of media that I used afterwards. And here you can see some photo corners and a tiny mixed media corner cluster. With this one is made of clay. I made it myself as usual, and it has an imprint of a tiny grass head and some cotton, some other lace, and just some tiny composition. Let's see what we have on the back. And on the back we have another mixed media continuation. Again, you can see this green thing which is popping up. It's really 3D. I'm not going to tell you how many techniques I used here. It's just heat embossing with with stencils, with texture pastes and stuff. Just a long winding road. And a little tiny cluster with, again, hand-dyed lace. And it's a synthetic lace, turned out to be, and it doesn't catch the common fabric dyes easily. So that's the color I finally managed to get, but it turned out pretty nice here. So this one comes like winter, and this reflects some wintry colors like green evergreens and grayish traces of trees or something. And let's move on. Here is another composition of book pages and a tiny illustration from another botanical book. And that's the second side of that original photo album. Just a tiny composition on the back side, just to make it more interesting. And another page, another bookmark, and another page. So again, we have a very complex background covered with different types of media and things, and then I covered it with lace and a composition with cluster, which, as you see, this is some net, and there is a piece of cloth with some metallic brads in it, and some tea bag, and a watch. As far as I see, let me see that you see. And this watch is probably covered with a crackle accent. The story with this crackle accent deserves mentioning. I bought it 7 years ago. It still lasts, but when I tried to open it this time, I failed because it became like not hard, but very, you know, um, like, I don't know, kind of it's not liquid, but it's not hard yet, but it's kind of a paste now. So I tried to use it as a paste, and in the end, actually, when it dried completely, if the layer is pretty thick, I got the result. It crackled. So I'm not going to get rid of it. I will use it as a paste now, not as liquid glossy accent or crackle accent. This one is a page I like because of its complexity. So it's kind of a sandwich. Looks easy. Originally, all the pages were of the same color like this, but then like sprays, uh, dyes, and voila. So that's the envelope with some stuff inside as usual. That's the paper bag as well with something inside. There's some stuff inside and some more stuff inside. In fact, I have 3 tags. Once again, these tags and everything, the whole style of the book is about being foresty and used. And actually that's it. Oh, it seemed to me it was something more elaborate, but well, it looks great even without being over stuffed with detail. But there are many tiny detail and layers, and I think that this grunginess gives the best effect. Like, well, what we have next? Another Edith Holden page. Some more. Okay, freestyle, and well, this one is obviously mixed media. Again, it's just a piece of probably watercolor paper covered with black gesso. As you see, these black pieces, the black splashes. This is black gesso, and then I used crackle paint. You know, this Tim Holtz Ranger crackle paint. Again, it's also as old as my crackle accent, so I keep adding water, plain water to it from time to time, a little amount, stirring it gently and keeping it this way, and I keep renewing it all the time. But it's still pretty more like paste, and so I use it like paste with my palette knife. Yeah, and here we have a dried plantain, right? It's called, tiny one with roots, all this botanical thing that is supposed to be, and it's fixed very steadily. It's sealed here and as well sprayed with some glitter, sprinkled with some glitter, and just looks nice. Another page, another mixed media piece. Well, I used a lot of mixed media here. That's like, it took me ages, well, days of work, but that was not work. That was just, I was blown away, swept away by the process, inspiration, and the flow that came through me. It was coming through me because it was all about nature, natural earthly colors, feelings, stuff, materials I was working with. Everything was like full of this, earthly, very grounded thing that is so needed. Oh, sorry. That was just kind of a distraction. Well, again, some background paper from the paper collection, and then media, and just everything I could come up with. This frame. Let's talk about this frame a little bit, because the rest of the ideas and tricks you have already seen. So die cut, a little bit of die cut, skeleton leaf, and so on. But this one, actually, it's again a piece of chipboard, pre-cut, laser cut, or whatever. Then I then covered with I don't know, I dyed it, I colored it, and then I added different. This one is used with liquid glossy glue, or not liquid pearls, although I used liquid pearls here, but it's something like with liquid glitter glue. Yeah, glitter glue of different colors. Let's see, because we still have something interesting ahead. I believe the top page of my to my liking. Another pocket with some stuff, with some tags, uh, with some tissue, and here it is. Here it comes, and I think I will cover it this way so that it's not, well, it doesn't distract you, but it will. This is the cottage pantry. Yes. Let's see. These are the mason bottles, all of them, and jars, all of them with some seeds in them. As you can see, some of them are real seeds I picked. There are some, beads, micro beads, again, some liquid glue. These are like, shelves, and a lot of plants hanging all around. That's the idea of the page. Well, let alone that it's completely 100% handmade. I mean, there is even no background fancy paper here. It looks very glossy, but I think it makes it even more shiny pop-up. Definitely with this light, it's not, well, yeah, that's maybe the best angle to show light. I love it most, I think, because it gives me the feeling of something real, something palpable. Another page with something glimmering, with some. This one is kind of a velvet paper, very old, like it's about 40 years old. I have some stash from my friend, and here we can see different types of fabric placed here, and a die cut piece, and just a tiny bit of a composition. This one is a big one. It's a wreath or garland made of different types of fabric, lace, cheesecloth. Again, that piece of lace I was talking about to cover the whole background, and some more chipboard. And here, actually, I used some liquid pearls, because that's the fabric flower, and inside I fixed some beads, micro beads, to the liquid pearls. Let's see, and yeah, since this is covered with moss imitation, I have special texture pastes that are called moss, and they give this mossy look, although they are very hard. Like, it's kind of a, if you touch it, it's like sandpaper. Another composition. Let me show you all the shades and glossy pieces of this mixed media page. This one, if you don't recognize, oh come on, I will have to fix it. This one is a candle. Oh, focus please. Yeah, candle covered this time with some crackle accent, the same crackle accent that I was talking about, where I used palette knife because it wasn't liquid. And some die cut and some seeds. Here you can see, again, let's focus. I hope you can see some seeds glued and stuff. Another mixed media page. This one is pretty easy, just a background, then some pieces of different types of paper, sprays, and then just yeah, different paints, and then on top of all comes a stencil with black paint. I'm forgetting the word paint today. Just this. A tiny pocket with tiny things. Just 2 pockets with tiny things. Just a very easy one, simple one. Another with love page from Dita. And all the illustrations like this come from Edith Holden printout book. And they are all coffee dyed. I believe that the printer they were printed on didn't reflect the color, the initial color. That's what I have. Didn't have access to some posh machinery. Yeah, this one is very simple. It's something like linen as well. Pretty rough, but it goes well here. Okay, these are the paints I used here, and that's kind of a palette. I decided to add it because it looks nice. I don't know, I like adding things like that. And yeah, and this one and the previous picture card were all about medicinal plants. This one is about oregano. Yeah. Actually, I use this picture sometimes when I have to identify the plants. Although I have applications, different apps, I have special books, but sometimes these pictures from the old cards work better because they're very detailed. Yeah, and here, let's see. One more beauty. You know, that's my thing. Using dried plants against on the acetate and adding different alcohol inks, glitter and stuff and pastes to make it look fancy and bright. And this year, as I have a big collection of dried plants, and just I wouldn't like to get rid of them, dispose them, because that will mean that they will just be killed and died for no reason. So my aim is to use up all my stash of dried plants, and before that I'm not going to collect any more, because plants are not for us to use in books only. Yeah. And again, I'm going to avoid using living plants in future as long as I can imitate them in so many ways, like painting them, die cutting them, just even embroidering them. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm showing something I don't tell about. So that's a piece of some, I don't know what to call it, some kind of net. Yeah. Another chipboard covered with stuff that's the seal made with the original stuff. It's not plastic, it's not wax, it's something that they used at the post offices ages ago. I have quite a big piece of it left, and I use it in these older projects just to give it the effect of the age. And that's handmade vellum or glassine. You know, when you take a page or a piece of paper, cover it with wax and heat this wax, and you get this effect. So this is it. And that's just the end, the back part of the journal. That's the end. As you can see, it's fat, and it has, well, the best to my mind. Well, not the best, but the most efficient binding, like double binding, when you have this outer binding and then everything is stitched, sewn to the inner one. Okay, and here it comes. So this says this journal was finished at 11:30, December 31st, on the New Year's Eve, between 23 and 24. With this magic, let it be yours. Yep. So I believe this one. I think I can explain why I couldn't film it, or I couldn't get back to any type of journal making for like almost 2 months so far. I believe this journal has taken a big part of my energy resource, like, because I told you that I was like swept away by the process. I was driven by it, and then I needed some time to restore, to somehow get back my energy, to build up my energy. And I have been only stitching and embroidering all this time, and it gave me a lot of energy back. That's why I'm filming this journal. And to finish that, thank you for watching. If you have any issue, well, yeah, it's for sale, and if you're interested, get in touch, please. It will be listed in my Facebook. It will be listed, maybe there will be some pictures on the Instagram. Unfortunately, I cannot write or mention the price openly because it's not legal according to my craftsman status that I have. And for our country, it's not legal. I cannot mention the prices or something. Otherwise, I will have to upgrade to a company, and I'm not a company at all. So that's why we can discuss it in private messages only, which is not publicly published, let's say, exposed. So get in touch with me, please, if you're interested, and then we'll discuss the ways how it can be paid and how you can get it. Otherwise, it will stay in my collection, which I'm not very actually keen on making a collection of things, because I feel like they are not doing their job when I'm just piling them up in my shelves or my closets or something. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and hope to hear from you soon. Bye bye.